So today I'm feeling kind of lazy and I'm going to show you how to make these golden, crispy, fried flautas or taquitos or whatever you call them. These are going to be so good. I'll also show you 2 other ways I make them. Okay, so here's the lazy part. I have my corn tortillas, but I'm making potato flautas and I'm using instant mashed potatoes. I'm going to season with onion powder, smoked paprika, a little bit of salt, and cracked black pepper. It's as easy as that. But first, I'm going to hydrate them with this chicken bouillon broth. You can do just hot water and season how you like, but I'm just going to create this very flavorful chicken broth. Okay, so I'm only using a cup of these instant mashed potatoes from this bag. And I gotta tell you, not only is this quick and easy, it comes together like in 15 minutes, but it's kind of budget friendly and time friendly if you're just in a hurry. Okay, I'm gonna save that for later. And now I'm going to add all of my seasonings. I'm just eyeballing things. You can just use salt and pepper, but I will say I'm not using any butter in these because I want them to be very thick, kind of on the drier side, because it really helps to hold the flauta together. If they're too creamy, then it's kind of like gonna ooze out too much. So I'm just gonna add probably somewhere like 2/3 of a cup of this broth. And I'm just going to combine everything well, and I'll show you. You really want it to be kind of on the drier side, just like this. Okay, I'm going to set these aside until I need them. Here's the other lazy part. I'm going to prep the corn tortillas in the microwave. All I'm going to do is just take a little bit of cooking oil, and I'm just going to add some to the bottom of this like pasta bowl that I'm going to use, and you just sort of like coat them lightly with the cooking oil. If you have like the spray cooking oil, that works even better, but this is what I opted for today. Okay, I'm not even going to cover these, just like this into the microwave. And I'm going to let these heat in 30-second intervals for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. And these are done. Now I'm going to work on the glue that holds these together. Here I have some all-purpose flour, maybe like 2 tablespoons, and I'm just going to add little by little cold water so it can form a paste. For those of you that want to keep this gluten-free, then you can add cornstarch, make like a really thick cornstarch slurry. That also works. Or if you want to just use the toothpick method, go right ahead and do that. But I'll tell you what, when you use the paste, it adds this extra crunch to the flauta. It's so good, and I like crunchy things. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to move everything around here. I'm going to slide you over here. Hey, yay, look at me, I'm using my stand. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I put these together. So like I said, you're working with really dry paste-like mashed potatoes. I'm going to take my little flour paste and the corn tortilla. And you see how it kind of wants to roll this way? So that's naturally the way I'm going to roll it. You don't want these to break. You don't want to fight against what it's doing. So I'm going to take like 2 tablespoons of the mashed potatoes. If you want to add some cheese into the mix, you definitely can do that. And I'm just sort of going to shape it. This is why you want it thick. See how it just kind of stays in place? It's kind of firm. And then you give it a tight roll. You pull back on the roll. And then before you finish out the roll, you're going to add some of that flour water paste mixture. And then you finish the roll. And I'll show you. It just sticks together like glue. It's perfect. No toothpick required. I love using this method. Okay, seam side down, and then you repeat the process. So I managed to use all of those potatoes. I had 1 tortilla left, but I did end up with 12 of these, which is perfect. So I preheated cooking oil in a pan, And I'm just going to give these a shallow fry. You want to place it seam side down. Make sure you fry that part first so they don't come undone. A good fry temp would be like 350 to 355 degrees Fahrenheit. Especially if you have like a Fry Daddy or something, you know, you can set that. But I'm doing 6 at a time. I'll fry these in 2 batches. And this is going to take minutes to fry. And I'm just going to place them on paper towels when they're done. And this is why I tell you, this is just lazy, quick 15-minute flautas. Okay, so the other day I picked up a rotisserie chicken for chicken sandwiches when I went grocery shopping. By the way, check out that video. I did a grocery haul. But like I said in that video, I knew I was going to get another meal out of it. So I'm also going to make some chicken flautas with the leftover rotisserie chicken. So I'm just going to shred that, and I'll show you 2 other videos on variations of flautas, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to give these a flip. Because it's a shallow fry, you kind of have to flip it. But if you were deep frying this, you wouldn't have to do that. But you can see they have fried perfectly in place. And because the mashed potatoes are very thick, you have little that kind of ooze out of the flauta. So there's something. But even with the paste and the mashed potatoes, it just adds this extra layer of crunch as it fries. So I'm not mad at that. Okay, so these are done. I'm going to place these here on my paper towels. You can also place them on a wire rack over a baking sheet. That also maintains the crispy, crunchy texture if you need to make a lot of these. Okay, going to go in with the second batch. By the way, if you are new here, welcome to my channel, Simply Mama Cooks. I'm Angelica, and I like to do a lot of recipes. I'll show you a lot of recipes here on my channel that are pretty beginner friendly for my beginner cooks. Sometimes I do like difficult recipes, nothing too chefy because I'm just a home cook. But I would appreciate if you subscribe, click the notification bell. Also, just kind of like and comment. That helps the channel grow. Thank you. Okay, so these are done, and check this out. They are golden, crispy, and they literally took less than 15 minutes to make. That's my kind of meal. And top them how you like. But I like these simple. I like to dip these in sometimes like a queso or an avocado sauce. It's so good. And that crunch is amazing. Okay, so these are very hot, by the way. But I'm going to show you how to make easy rotisserie chicken flautas 2 ways. And they are both oh so good and super simple. Here you go. Okay, I'm making flautas today. This is just a rotisserie chicken that I took off the bone and shredded, store-bought corn tortillas, and I'm going to show you how I freezer prep these. I will cook some today for us to eat, but the rest I'll store in the freezer. So you might find this useful. Okay, so I like to do this step texturally. I like it when I go to fry it after passing the corn tortillas through the hot grease and warming them through. That's one reason I like to do it, but the main reason is to get them soft and pliable. So when you go to roll the flautas, they don't crack and break. A lot of people just skip the grease part and warm these in the microwave or warm them up like in a bag. I just like this method. It works for me, and I like the end result when I go to fry them afterwards. So do what you find is best. So I have my griddle on, and I find like spray oil works well. Actually, I think I'm running low, but just kind of spray the tortilla and then put it on the griddle. And you just kind of warm it through until it's soft, warmed through, and then I'm just going to place it right back on my baking sheet. And I'll do a lot of corn tortillas. I'll go through all of them. I may do more because I do have a lot of chicken to use today. So you're not really frying these until they're crispy. You're warming them through until they are soft. Kind of bubbled up. Okay, so onto my baking sheet. And I'm taking another one and just do the same thing. Okay, so these are done. They're very hot, so they'll stay warm for a while. Okay, so I'm going to make this flour water paste, and this is what I'm going to seal the flautas with. You could use a toothpick method. That definitely works. I know a lot of people prefer that way. I just think this way is a lot more convenient. And I'm just mixing flour and cold water until it forms a paste. I may have like added too much water. There we go. So you just kind of form the paste, and this is what you'll put on the end of the tortilla when you go to roll it out, and it should seal, or at least stay together. That works. Okay, let's turn the light there. So the rotisserie chicken, in my opinion, comes seasoned already, at least with like the saltiness. So I'm not gonna add salt, but I am gonna add some onion powder, some garlic powder, and some cracked black pepper. Give it a mix, and that's, you know, what I'm gonna season it with. You can season how you like. Just give that a mix. Okay, so time to roll. So naturally this is curving this way, so that's the way I'm gonna roll it. I'm going to add some of the chicken here on the end, and these are kind of chunky pieces, so we'll do that. And I have the bad habit of or just filling these too much. So I think I did okay. So you do the first little roll, pull back, and just kind of give it a tight roll. And at the end, we're going to add the little flour paste. And then you just put it there on the end, finish the roll. And then I'm gonna bring it over here, and we're going to put it seam side down on another baking sheet and just repeat the process. And you're just gonna stack them, and I'll show you what to do if you wanna freeze these and store these for later. Okay, so here I have a tray of flautas or baking sheet, and here's the other ones. I actually still have chicken left over, so I could have made more. But I think what I'm going to do is fry these today for my family, and then I'm going to pop these into the freezer. Okay, so I'm just going to place them right here on top. Let's see. Okay, so the flautas or the taquitos that I put into the freezer, I like to freeze them in a single layer first, then I like to put them in a storage bag. This will prevent them from freezing all together in one clump. So if someone wants to cook them, maybe 5 at a time, 3 at a time, they don't run the risk of ripping the corn tortilla when they're trying to pull them apart from the freezer. So this is why I freeze them in a layer first. Gonna add some cooking oil. I'm gonna do a shallow fry, so I don't even think that was a 1/2 inch of oil. I'm gonna turn on the heat and let that preheat. Okay. So my fry oil should be ready. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that works. I'm going to put them seam side down, and that will fry closed. They won't open when you do that. There we go. Okay. Going to give all of these a flip. And I'm going to be placing them on, typically I like to place them, if I'm making a lot, on a baking sheet with a wire rack, but I just have a dish here with a paper towel to soak up any residual oil. Okay, so let's get these out and just put them right there. These look great. Yep. crispy golden brown. Okay, so these are frozen. They are frozen solid, so now you can put them in your freezer bag. Okay, so this is open, and then you just quickly put them in there, and then you can put them in your freezer, and you have flautas prepped. And I just think this is so convenient. My family loves potato flautas, chicken, beef, and this just works for my household when I'm doing meal preps. You zip it up and put it in the freezer, and you're all good. You can put the date on it. I have frozen these for well over a month without any issues. Okay, back into the freezer, and there we go. Cheers. I brought home rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. So it's that time of the week where I make flautas, or you may call them taquitos, or rolled tacos. I am going to make flautas ahogadas. This is basically taquitos fried, or I'm going to bake mine today, but you can fry yours. And I'm going to soak them and let them swim in this very simple and delicious green salsa consommé. It's kind of like a soupy salsa. So good. Here we go. So my husband's going to help me shred the rotisserie chicken, and I'm going to work on the salsa part, or the consommé part. I'm using this is like medium to large tomatillos, 3 cloves of fresh garlic, a half of a small onion, 1 large jalapeno. You can do serrano if you really want this spicy. And I'm going to work with some canned chicken broth. You could also just add water and do maybe like a tablespoon or so, or to taste, of the chicken bouillon powder, but I'm gonna opt for the chicken broth for my people that just don't like using bouillon powder, but I like to do that, but I'm just gonna switch it up today. Okay, so I've already chopped up my fresh ingredients. This is the jalapeno, tomatillos, the onion, and the garlic. You know, I'm gonna make a mess. I knew it, darn it. So I'm gonna put that in my yellow stained blender cup. For those of you that are wondering why it's that color, because I made immunity bombs not too long ago and it stained my blender cup. So I'm going to add, this is like a 14-ounce can of chicken broth going in. And now I'm going to give this a whirl. A little bit of cooking oil. Now I'm going in with my salsa. Okay, so what you could do, I'm definitely going to bring this to simmer and let it cook for like 10 minutes. I think I want to add a little more chicken broth. I mean, it definitely is soupy. I'm probably going to add another cup and then season with salt to taste, and that's it. Just let it simmer, because essentially these are all raw ingredients. So you want to cook this, bring it to a simmer, and let it cook gently for about 10 minutes or so. I'm going to add salt. I already know it's going to need it, so I'll start with just a little. Well, there we go. And like I said, you want to bring it up to a gentle simmer. And then after around 10 minutes or so of simmer time, give it a taste, adjust to your preference. And this is the green consommé, the green salsa consommé that we're going to put for these taquitos today for dinner. Okay, so here's the shredded chicken. Good job, honey. And here are my prepped tortillas. And I just added like a couple of tablespoons of all-purpose flour with water. So I'm going to start putting these together. So go ahead and take your prepped tortilla. Actually, sometimes you can, I think I'm going to, it already wants to kind of roll that way. So go ahead and roll it that way. I'm going to add my shredded chicken. And let me get this over here. And when you start to roll it, kind of pull back on that first roll. That kind of helps to keep it a tight roll. And get some of your paste on the edge here. And just, there you go. And then you keep it on your baking sheet, seam side down. And repeat the process. Sometimes I overfill these or stuff these, so just be mindful of that. And just kind of smear that. Okay, so I have these rolled out, and I actually could roll out more. This is just what I'm working with right now. I'm just feeding 2 to 3 people, so this will work. I'm going to bake these. You can definitely fry these in a shallow fry until golden brown and crispy, but I'm going to bake these at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for maybe 20 minutes or until they're crispy and the texture is that of a fried taquito or flauta. I just didn't want to fry these today. And the residual oil from when I gave them that light fry, that'll help to crisp them up in the oven. And you can also do this in the air fryer. So here's what the salsa looks like. You see how the bright, vibrant green kind of tones down, which is fine, but that just, you know, you basically cooked the raw ingredients with that simmer. So this is seasoned to perfection because I tasted it. You should do the same when making this. And if you want a bigger, fuller pot of this consommé, just double the recipe. And if you want extra flavor, roast your fresh ingredients before pureeing. That also gives great flavor to this, but I just wanted something quick and easy. So there's that. So these are ready. Bo's mad. So we're gonna take this out. It's hot, be careful. I should probably clean my oven at some point. Okay. So these are done and they are nice and toasty. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to plate these up and dinner's almost ready. Okay, so I'm going to serve it on this. Okay, let's look at it this way. Yeah. These are hot. I'll do 5. And now this is just where you pour your delicious green salsa consommé all over them. There we go. And then I'm going to take some cotija cheese. Just make it snow all over. Mexican crema here. And this is dinner. Top how you like, but just like this, it's amazing. It's so good. Okay, so can you see that? Okay, going in for a bite. So good, I already know. So I hope you give these recipes a try. I hope you like it. And thanks for watching.